All right, happy Friday. Let's start by correcting lesson 3.4 of our homework. Remember, this one you were supposed to do the whole page. On the back, I said you could just do evens, but I know some of you decided to do every problem on the back, which I love. But if you didn't, as long as you did evens, you are good. Lots of people joining us right now. I probably should have labeled this more with the actual fractions, but I didn't. I just drew the picture. So if you labeled it with the fractions like they have up here, awesome. You did an amazing job. If you didn't, you're right there with me, kind of the lazy job. Any questions? Remember, shout them out, put them in the chat. I cannot see you right now, so raising your hand unfortunately will not work.
Can you move the paper down so I could see the bottom ones?
You bet. Did you guys actually talk to a family member like it says to in number 1?
I did. No.
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh. I'm going to email some of your guys' parents and ask. I'm going to give them one of these problems and tell them to solve it with a number line. How about that? That'll be the test.
I actually solved it with one of the teachers at Adventure Club.
I actually talked to the dog.
You talked to the dog?
It doesn't
Did he
have to
talk
be.
back?
He was
He
annoyed.
probably whined a little bit, like, why are you torturing me?
It doesn't have to be a family member, right?
Nope. Nope,
Okay, then
not
I'm
at
good.
all. I just wanted you to talk about it because when we can explain what we learned to someone else, it helps us learn it so much better when you can explain it. All right, I see no questions. I'm going to flip it on over to the back side. Ah, my paper's ripping. And I'm going to clip it down so you can see everything. There we go. And like I said, you guys only needed to do the evens, but I did all of them because I know some of you wanted to do all of them. Number 4, I think they really tried to trick you. Because if you didn't line up your decimals, you would have come up with a number in the 500s. But when you line up your decimals, it's really pretty simple. You don't even have to write it out.
Can you explain the drawing to me for stretch your thinking?
Absolutely. So it said solve for the unknown fraction, then divide and shade an area model. So the first thing I did was I figured out what my unknown fraction was. So I know that 2 times some number has to equal 10, right? Because we multiply our numerators together. So I know that 2 times 5 is 10. And then I know 5 times some number is 30. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. So the first thing I did was I found out what that question mark was going to be. And then I drew my area model. I drew my square. And I started with my 2/5 along the top. So I divided it into 5 vertical sections. And I colored in 2 of them. And then on the other side, I know I need 6 sections. So I divided it into 6 pieces. And I shaded in 5 of them. And then my double up coverage gives me 10/30. So the top side here is my 2/5, and over here is my 5/6. Other questions? All right, let's move on to our math books then. Student activity book. We are on lesson 3-5, which is on page 79. I'm going to give you guys a little warning about today's math. Today's math is something that either you love and you think it's the best thing ever, or it's something that you really do not like, do not care for at all, and it really kind of makes no sense at all. But here's the thing. You will still be able to solve the problems, whether you like it or don't like it. How's that for an introduction to today's lesson? All right, so what that thing is that I'm going to show you is how to cross-cancel, And by cross-canceling, it helps us to simplify our fractions, our answers, before we even multiply them, okay? So when we cross-cancel, it's just like how it sounds. I'm going to take my 30 and put it over 1, so I see that denominator. And I'm going to look at the diagonal. So I'm going to look at my 3 and my 30. Is there something that goes into 3 and 30? Can I divide both of those by the same number?
No.
Yeah, what can I divide them both by?
10.
I can divide 3 by 10?
No. 1.
1.
What other than 1 goes into 3 and into 30?
60?
30.
Nope. We're dividing. What can I divide into 3?
3.
3. Yeah, I can,
And 6.
guys, I can divide both 3 and 30 by 3. You're trying to find a number that goes into 3 evenly and goes into 30 evenly. 3 goes into both of those evenly. So 3 divided by 3 leaves me with 1. 30 divided by 3 leaves me with 10. Now, when I look my other direction, I have a 2 and a 1. I know that 1 is the only thing that can go into 1, so I can't do anything else to simplify that. So now when I solve it, when I do my multiplication, I have 2 times 10, which is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer is 20. Now, let's say that I didn't cross-cancel before, I didn't simplify before. I would have had 2 times 30, which would have given me 60, 3 times 1, which would have given me 3, and then I would have had to do that division. 3 goes into 60, 20 times. So I got to my same answer just by cross-canceling. It made me save a step, and it made me have smaller numbers to work with. Okay, let's look at the next one. I'm going to put my 35 over 1. And I'm going to think, okay, what goes into 5 and 35? What can I divide both of those by?
1 and 5.
5. I can divide them both by 5. Yes. What's 5 divided by 5?
1.
1.
You're going to cross out that 5 and write a 1. What's 35 divided by 5?
7.
7.
Oh, it's 7.
Okay. 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 1 is 1. I end up with an answer of 14. Again, if I hadn't cross-canceled, I would have had 2 times 35 is 70. 5 times 1 is 5. Then I have to divide. 5 goes into 70 14 times. So by looking for those numbers that we can use when we cross-cancel, someone's making noises. When we look for those numbers where we can cross-cancel, it makes us getting to our final answer a little bit easier, okay? Let's look at this next one. I'm gonna put my 4 over 1. What number goes into 4 and into 6?
2.
2. I can divide 6 by 2, and I can divide 4 by 2. What is 6 divided by 2?
3.
3, you got it. And what's 4 divided by 2?
2.
2. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 goes into 10. I know that's 3 times with 1 left over, so 3 1/3 would be my final answer. Okay, let's keep going. 8 and 16. What number goes into 8 and 16?
8.
8. I can divide those both by 8. What's 8 divided by 8?
1.
1.
What's 16 divided by 8?
2.
2. So I have 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. That's a lot nicer looking than 56 over 16, isn't it? 7 halves. I like that a lot better than 56 over 16. 2 goes into 7 3 times with 1 left over. Okay? So we're going to keep going, but now instead of having a fraction and a whole number, we have 2 fractions. 2 fractions, so we get to look both directions. So 7 and 14. Is there something that goes into 7 and into 14?
Yeah.
2.
7.
7.
Okay, so hang on, let me,
2.
so hang on. I heard an answer of 2. I'm not asking 7 times what gives me 14. I'm saying what can I divide 7 by that I can also divide 14 by? I can't divide 7 by 2. 2 does not go into 7 evenly. Is there a number that I can divide both 7 and 14 by evenly?
No.
7.
7. Yeah, I can divide those both by 7. What's 7 divided by 7?
1.
1.
What's 14 divided by 7?
2.
2.
Okay, so we went one direction. Now we got to look the other way. How about 5 and 20?
4.
Is-
No,
Is there
5.
some- Yes, so I heard a 4 again. So remember, we're not saying, okay, 5 times what gives me 20. We're looking for what we can divide both of these by evenly. 5 divided by 5 is what?
1.
1. 20 divided by 5 is what?
4.
4.
4. We're finding numbers we can divide them both by. Look at this multiplication now. 1 times 1 is?
1.
1.
2 is?
8.
8.
Do you know what your answer would have been had you not cross-canceled? It would have been 35 over 280. But because of cross-canceling, we have an answer of 1/8. So
Wow.
hopefully you can see where that cross-canceling is helpful. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. How about 4 and 16? Is there something that goes into 4 and 16?
4.
4, yeah. 4 goes into 4 how many times?
1 time.
1.
4 goes into 16 how many times?
4.
4.
4, yeah. 2 times 1 is?
2.
2.
4 times 21 is? 84.
84.
4.
I don't want to confuse you guys too much, but I do want to point out when I had 2/4 right here, I could have simplified that too, right? Because is there something, when they're right on top of each other, is there something that goes into 2 and into 4,
Yeah, 2.
right? 2 goes into both of those. So I could have made that 1/2, and I would have ended up with 1/42 as a final answer.
That
Okay.
would have been much easier.
Yep. How about this next one? 9 and 10. Is there anything that goes into both of those?
No.
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 Those don't have any common factors. How about 7 and 10?
No.
No. So we
What about
can't
10?
do any simplifying first on this one. We cannot just go straight across the bottom. It has to either be diagonal or vertical. You cannot do horizontal canceling. Okay? So 9 times 7 is?
63.
63. 10 times 10 is?
100.
100. You got it. All right. How about 7 and 21? What goes into 7 and into 21?
7.
7.
7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 21 how many times?
3 times.
3.
Times. You got it. How about 10 and 15? Is there something that goes into 10 and into 15?
5.
Wait.
5. Yeah,
5.
we can divide both of those by 5. What's 10 divided by 5?
2.
2.
15 divided by 5?
3.
3.
3, yep. So now I have 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. If you think you got it, go ahead and do 9 through 12. I'm going to keep going and talking about them as I go. But if you think you know them, go for it. Okay. So 5 and 25, I know that 5 goes into both 5 and 25 evenly. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 6 and 24, oh, I know that 6 goes into 24. So 6 goes into 6 one time and 24 4 times. Now I have 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 8 goes into 32. 8 also goes into 8 one time and 32 4 times. 5 and 45, I know I can divide those both by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 9 is 9. The last one here, well, not the last one, the second to last one. 7 and 49, I know 7 can go into both of those. 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 49 7 times. And 8 and 10, that one's a little more tricky because I can't just use 8 because 8 doesn't go into 10 evenly. But let's see, I know 4 goes into 8. Oh, but 4 doesn't go into 10. I know 2 goes into 8. Oh, and 2 goes into 10, so I can divide them both by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 4 times 1 is 4. 7 times 5 is 35. And then the last one, 7 and 4. No, there's nothing that those have in common. Same with 3 times 25. Nothing that those have in common either. So 7 times 3 is 21. 25 times 4, 4 quarters, $1, 100. Those of you who went on and worked on those on your own, how'd you do?
Same answers.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, which fraction is not equivalent to the others? Which one is not equivalent to the others? So let's see if we can figure this out. I'm going to use 1/3 kind of as my base to work off of for all the rest. So how would I get from 3 to 1?
You divide by 3.
Divide by 3. What's 9 divided by 3?
3.
3. So those two are equal. Good. How can I get from 1 to 8?
You multiply by 8.
Times 8. What's 3 times 8?
24.
24. That's equal. How do I get from 1 to 10?
You multiply by 10.
Times 10. Good. What's 3 times 10?
30.
30. Good. That one's equal. How do I get from 1 to 6?
You multiply by 6.
Times 6. What's 3 times 6?
18.
18. That one's equal. How do I get from 1 to 9?
You multiply by 9.
Times 9. What's 3 times 9?
27.
Uh-oh, you mean it's not 36? That one's not equivalent. Let's check the last one. How do I get from 1 to 20?
You multiply by 20.
Times 20. Thanks, Jaslyn. What's 3 times 20?
60.
60. You got it. So just that one is not equivalent to the others. Okay? All right, some word problems. In the Fireside Ski Shop, 11/28 of the ski caps have tassels. Of the caps with tassels, 7/11 are blue. So we are doing 11/28 times 7/11. Can I cross cancel on this one? Oh, I forgot about my equation. Equals C for caps. So 11/28 times 7/11. Really the easiest one to cross cancel on is when you have the exact same number on the diagonals, right? I have an 11 up top there and 11 on the bottom right here. So I know that I can cross cancel those and they're both going to become 1s. How about 7 and 28?
You're gonna do.
Is there something I can divide 7 by evenly that I can also divide 28 by evenly?
7.
7.
7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 28 divided by 7 is 4.
4.
1 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. My answer, C, equals 1/4 caps. That's a lot nicer than doing 7 times 11 and 28 times 11. In the shop, 27/32 of the jackets have zippers. Of the jackets with zippers, 8/9 have hoods. We're gonna multiply those. 27/32 times 8/9 equals J for jackets, right? Write an equation. Okay, can I cross cancel?
Yes.
Because these are
Yes.
big numbers that I don't want to multiply. What goes into 8 and 32?
8.
8. I can divide those both by 8. What's 8 divided by 8?
1.
What's 32 divided by 8?
4.
4.
Yes, if not 27 and 9. Can I cross cancel those?
Yes.
Yes.
What goes into 9
3.
and 27?
9. 9.
9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 27
1.
divided by 9 is 3.
3.
3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 1 is 4. 3/4 of the jackets have both zippers and hoods. 5 of the 16 workers in the shop know how to ski. 1/5 of those who can ski know how to snowboard. So this one's kind of tricky because this 16 is extra information. Well, I guess not, actually. That's part of our fraction because it's 5/16. We have to build that into a fraction times 1/5. 5/16 times 1/5 equals W for workers. So 5/16 times 1/5. Can I cross cancel?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can I do?
5 goes into 5 one time, and it'll be 1 for each.
I
and
can
then-
cross out those 5s. Yeah. And make them both 1s because 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 1 is 1, 16 times 1 is 16. 1/16 of the workers. Okay. So again, I'm going to bet that at this point, a small handful of you are enjoying this because it means you don't have to do 27 times 8 and 32 times 9. And there's probably quite a few of you who still think I'm speaking German. Okay. Which is okay, because either way you do it, you're still going to be able to solve the problems. Let's see what Puzzle Penguin has going on. He says, I multiplied 7/12 times 3/4, but I think my answer is wrong. When you take a fraction of a fraction, you should get a smaller fraction, but my answer is larger. What mistake did I make? How do I correct it? So let's see, he was doing 7/12 times 3/4, and it looks like he did some cross canceling. But what, we don't need to write anything, let's just talk. What did Puzzle Penguin do?
He basically cross canceled like 12 and 4, not 7 and 4 and 12 and 3.
Yeah, he did it cross cancel, right? Because cross would be on the diagonals. He canceled horizontally, which you cannot do. You can do diagonal and you can simplify up and down, but you cannot cancel horizontally. That does not work. Okay, does not work. All right, don't leave because I've got 2 more things to show you here. First one, we're going to talk about our homework. And then I have something else, another math assignment to share with you. So first thing is homework. If you're understanding the cross canceling, use it. If you are not, just solve them, okay? If you understand cross canceling, use it. If you don't, just multiply and get your answers. We did one like this. I would use this 1/5 as my base for all of them to find out what's equivalent and what's not. And then you have a couple word problems. Backside is some review. Oh, lucky you. They made these all have common denominators for you.
Yay.
That makes it nice. Okay, so you have page 55, 56 in your math homework to do. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you, this is something that some of the other classes have been using, and I'm a little late to the party, but we are going to start it today. Let me change up my share here. Get back over to here. And someone's singing again. I think it's this one. So one thing that we really need to make sure that you guys have down solid before you go off to middle school are your multiplication tables, okay? You have got to know your basic multiplication facts super simply, okay? It should be super easy and quick for you to do them. They should take no thinking. So today, I'm just gonna have you do one of the charts, but you can see this is kind of like your root slides. There are several multiplication tables on here. You are not turning this in, okay? I assigned it to you in Otis last night. Some of you have probably already opened it and looked at it. So you are not turning it in because we're gonna be working on it and we'll have a certain number of them that are due each week. Today, you're going to need to do just the first slide, slide number 2. And the way it works is I'm gonna look and, okay, my number on the top and my number on the side meet at a box, and that's what I'm multiplying. So 3 times 3 is what?
9.
9.
9. So I'm gonna type a 9 in that box. Come on. My keyboard is still waking up. And then my next one is that a 6? Yeah, 6 times 3. What's 6 times
18.
18.
Okay.
18
18.
in that box?
18.
3 times
6.
6.
6. Let's say I come all the way down to this box right here. This is gonna be 4 times 9. What's 4 times 9?
36.
36.
Yes. So you're going to fill in your multiplication table. Today you only have to do the 1. You're only doing slide number 2. Okay, but that is assigned to you in your Otis assessments. Let's take out our planners, friends. Here we go. You have math, homework and remembering, pages 55 to 56. And you have multiplication practice.
Oh.
I'm going to abbreviate that, mult practice. And that, like I said, is in your Otis assessments. Mr. Baker's kiddos, I assigned it to you too. Multiplication practice, I want you to just do slide number 2 today. Okay, multiplication practice, slide number 2. You guys are going to work until 10 o'clock, take a break at 10, and be back with me at 10:20. Are there any questions?
What test do we have today?